Jacob Zuma was once elected as the president of the country, but he didn't have the merits and the pedigree to be the president of the country.
What do you mean?
Actually, I didn't enjoy much in prison. I don't know. It's not a place ukuthi I can wish ukuthi umuntu. Even my worst enemy, I want to wish ukuthi to be honest, I'm the last crop. After me, akuzange kube khona abanye abotsotsi abengathi baba serious. You understand? So
welcome to the Dobe Show. Of course, I go by the name Christmas. You already know. Doing this best show, it makes any other show look so stupid at work. I'm thugging and loving. Yeah. Mina ngwakunene ngwakamadonsela umtimande mfowethu ngopambulo ngabambili seza nonini ekhakhoninina kamtam vele ngumfana omzulu. I'm doing this best show that makes any other show look so stupid and work online. I told you I'm coming back with part 2. Yeah, you said you wanted. Yeah, now you get it. On camera as usual, got my man James as well as Gundam Style. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and press the notification bell. Yeah, you're welcome. And shout out to those 10 subscribers. We really appreciate it. We're going to 20 now. Let's go to 20. You share, you like. If you want to donate to the channel, please do so. It helps the channel to go the long way and we bring more stories for you. This is part 2, man. Part 1 was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm still having your book.
Yeah, Unravel the Veil.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. I didn't know Soweto is that rich.
Yeah, no, it's rich in content. It's just that the people who have got the leverage, to write these stories are white people. And then most, black people they don't write stories. No. When you look at Tisha Galembe, it's written and created by Uenga Gibson.
True.
You understand? And people will tell you, hey, Ubanbani. When you are an executive producer, you've done nothing. You need to be a producer. We need that.
Because why white man telling a black story?
A white man telling a black story. Ilembe is being done by a white person. And then you found out, Tina, in the ground floor, we have got good stories to tell. I mean, if you look at my book, it's all about espionage. It's all about espionage. It's a thriller. There is nothing out there that is like that. When you look at the stories of South Africa, they are all talking, my buddy. It's a drama. You understand? And I've come up with something different. And then because I'm coming from it, I don't know anything about, but I've got a content. But it's very difficult for me to get there. It's difficult for me to be there because you know what? People who are there. They are closing out. I've reached to many people and they are closing me out. I don't know why.
Maybe because you don't want to sell your rights and you're not publishing.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that. True. Because this is my content. I want to hold it. It's me. I'm the one who wrote it. True. So it must be fully mine. Yeah,
like the people that are scared of ownership. I was talking to one of my friend was like, hey, he said, oh, Chris, I want to be a presenter. And we both wanted to be presenters. So I was like, but you can start your own podcast.
Yeah,
you too, you can also start your own podcast. You can be a presenter and you can be your own boss.
Yeah, you can be your own boss.
You see?
Yeah.
So, but to him, it was like, to start the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Doc, now you don't have to be a presenter. You can be an owner also.
Yeah, you can be an owner also.
So I think black people are scared to start their own things.
And then it's a different ball game when you go to producing, a film. Because this is book 1. This is book 1 of Unravel the Veil. Though people, it's a series. And then to get the kind of, the influence and then, let me say the finances to run that production company, it's a lot.
Because it can be a movie, it can be a documentary,
it's a series. It's a series, and then to run that, you need a lot of money. You need a white man inside. You need a white man. A white man must be there, and then white man who wants you want to control the thing.
Why white people when they come just wanna take everything and you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's white supremacy. It's what we call white supremacy. Every wealth must go to white. Black people must get the remnants of money, not not the real money. Because when you're talking about billions of rands, it's just a remnant of money, man. Even if you can be a billionaire, it's just a remnant to white people. What is a billion to them? I mean, white people in fact they owning trillions and trillions and trillions of rands. You know, Mina, as an author, as a writer, let me tell you about this book, because when you don't know it. I'm mentioning here because it's a thriller. Yeah, it's got dialogue. I'm talking about, Hosenberg family. You don't know about it. It landed here in South Africa in 1652. When Jan van Riebeeck landed here, they landed also here. Hosenberg family. They own a farm, and that farm, they didn't buy it. It's near Stellenbosch. They even own it even today. And then that farm, I think that the diameter of the farm is the whole of Soweto. But they didn't buy it. And they are still owning it today. So you understand, Uguti, it comes with their prestige and pedigree. The money, it's something that it's hereditary. It's been there for the centuries and centuries until now. So when you're making a billion rand, you are talking about something. It's a remnant to them.
These people got money.
And a lot of money. And then it's difficult for them to share everything to the black people. Hence, I've written a book called Unravel the Veil. Because I'm mentioning that, there's an elite white group people that they don't want to share everything to black people. So that we must always remain, in a standard form. We must always remain, succumbed to what we have. When you're starting to having a billion, you think you have prospered. We haven't prospered. When you're talking about real money, wealth, my body, you are talking with white people. They've got everything. See, now are just eating peanuts, and it is easy for them. It's easy for them to to support everybody. Let me make you an example. Let me make you a pragmatic example in saying Jacob Zuma was once elected as the president of the country, but he didn't have the merits and the pedigree to be the president of the country.
What do you mean?
He didn't have the merits and the pedigree. This is very profound, my buddy. You cannot. When you look it in a naked eye, you're going to see turmoil, and you're not going to understand you. South Africa was running smoothly from day one, from 1994 until now, until Jacob Zuma took over. When Jacob Zuma took over, South Africa was in a prosperous state, meaning to say people were understanding everything. Education was priority. Thabo Mbeki was running the country good. And then what happened is that they wanted a leader that will distract the country, not to go in a prosperous way. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Because the country was in a good standard and going in a prosperous way. Everything from 1994 until, Thabo Mbeki was running the country, everything was, steady but surely was going up, prospering little by little, prospering little by little. But when Jacob Zuma took over, crime started booming up. You know that Jacob Zuma, when he was elected, he appointed all the Zulus in an arms position, let me not put it like that, where there is law. He appointed all the Zulu people.
Most of president when they come in is like, even in the police station, if the petty president can come in or whatever, you'll see the petties in the police station. I don't think we can say Zuma. I think every president did that. Former presidents, they did that.
Let us make the reference. When Zuma was appointed, the Minister of Police, Justice Minister, Judge President, all where there is arms and court of laws, Mr. Pratic Protector. Everybody, he gathered every people that is going to protect him. You understand? And then after that, what he did? He started, smuggling money, and then the Guptas came and everything, and the country started.
But Ramaphosa is still Ramaphosa is not doing crime though.
He's not immune to crime. He's doing crime. But let me show you something. When Thabo Mbeki was president, how many ministers he did fire? He even fired Zuma as a deputy president because of corruption. Do you know that?
Thabo Mbeki is not corrupt.
I'm saying to you.
But it will be unfair for me to agree with you when you're saying Zuma was a worst president. I don't think Zuma.
I'm not saying he's a worst. I'm not saying he's a worst.
Rate him.
I'm not saying he's a worst.
Then.
I'm just showing you something else. When this is very profound. Hence, I'm told you, when you look it in the naked eye, Mina as an author, as a writer, I have to do my research. I have to investigate. When you look at the state of the country back then, when Thabo Mbeki was running the country, he fired maybe 18 or 16.
But doesn't mean he's an
look. It doesn't mean he's an absolute right president.
Yeah.
But the corruption was down. There was no corruption was down. He fired Jeki Selebe as the Minister of Police. He fired Jeki Selebe as the Minister of Police. He fired Jacob Zuma as the Deputy President of the country. You understand? And who else did that? Nobody. He didn't want it. He didn't want corruption in the country. It doesn't mean.
I will say to you. I will say to Okanda want to make a point. I don't know.
Okanda, you can speak, my buddy.
Yeah,
you can speak. You can speak.
But before he make his point, I'm like, the petrol was down when Jacob Zuma came. Job opportunities. How many black millionaires we've got during Zuma's era? I think a lot. Schools, free education, a lot of schools were built. The country, on my perspective, I think the country was going in the right direction especially for Udaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay, take the mic.
Okay, I'm not into politics, but ngendlela engibona ngayo, I feel like Thabo Mbeki was pushing njengoba usho ukuthi everything was running smoothly. Abelungu bebafuna lokho. Ngendlela engibona ngayo ukuthi yonke into irun smoothly, bahlale newealth yabo labakhona, ngabe nomuntu ozoba distract. I think Zuma was fired. Thabo Mbeki fired Zuma because Zuma he is actually one of the guys abeba bafuna ukupusha, bafuna ukuvusa udaki thingibeke kanjalo, bafuna ukuvusa udaki yonke into beyenzeka smoothly. Yes, but as a black child, go and study, be educated, ufunde, uhlale kulelo office lelo, uhole le mali uyihola. Into abafuna sihlale la bona abelungu bafuna ukuhlala kulabo Stellenbosch namafama wabo. Right now, if you check indlela esiphila ngayo even though kubheda, but most of us as a youth siyabona manje ukuthi okay, abo babethu nabomkhulu bahlalile batshela ukuthi bangafami. You understand? Bangafami, pushi. It's farming and what konje? Ziningi izinto yabo, and we used to believe everything we see ku-media. Yonke into beyibhalwa iSoweto or News 24, we used to believe everything they say, but now sisiyabona la siyabhedelwa la. Up until ngene Jacob Zuma, angeke abelungu guys, yabona thi generation yethu siyabona ukuthi for the first time ever abelungu basukuma bathi Jacob Zuma must fall. Ithi kude esibona ngakhona izinto manje asayini
imu president wakhishwa abantu abelungu bathi bathi akaphume lo president. What exactly Zuma was doing that eyenza ukuthi threaten abantu white?
Sibheka kanjalo thi.
But is your opinion is the way like
no, you know what? I mean, what I would say to you is that you need to read my book and then secrets. You'll get secrets that it's a throughout researches that I've done, and then I've come to the conclusion. Hence, I'm saying in this book, Unravel the Veil, see beyond. Because let me tell you something. This is very profound. Zuma indeed was working for the people, 100% sure. Zuma was working for the people. He was for the people, but he distracted the country in going in accordance to the country that should be. In what way? After when Zuma took over, there was a lot of corruption within the government. The millionaires started to build up after Zuma took over. 30% of black people. 30% of black people became millionaires in the era of Zuma, ne? And then in the era of Zuma, and then what happened is that we were more focused on him than the country on its own to go in a prosperous way.
But besides Gupta's, what other crime you come up with? That's something that you can point at Zuma that was a crime, you did it. For me, I want specifically point a crime that he did. I'm talking about the country on its own. Because your court, let me tell you,
here we're talking about the country.
Yeah.
You understand? The country was going according, because black people on that era before he took over, everybody was like, this is now the time for us to take the land from white people. You understand? This now is the time for us to take the land from white people. Everything is smooth, everything is right, the country is going in accordance. And then white people said to themselves, you know what, we need somebody who can distract the country. You understand? White people themselves said we need somebody who can take, because, after when Zuma took over, there were two factions within the black community as a whole country. Some saying he must go out, so we lose focus. I'm telling you, we lose focus as a country. You understand? After Zuma took over, as a country, not as an individual, but as a country, when Zuma took over, we lose focus, because when from 1994 until Thabo Mbeki was running the country was going on an upheaval slope, gently and little by little. But when we took over, we lose focus. And then we more focused on what? On things that are distracting. Because he elected this, he done this, he done it, and then we forgot to what? This is what we needed to do. Because remember, we spoke with them, we said we want land, we want this. Because I can tell you as a black person in Mabari, we have got mines, millions and mines in South Africa, but they are not benefiting black people. And we are not talking about that. We have got farms, they are not benefiting people. We have got land, we massive land, but it's not benefiting us at all. And then when the country was supposed to be focused on that, white people realized, the country is going smooth and it's going, in a way which black people are being awakened now. You understand? Thabo Mbeki is emphasizing this, and everything is smooth. Everything is running smooth. And then when Zuma was elected, remember when Zuma was elected, we had two factions. Some saying Zuma must fall, Thabo Mbeki must fall. The only problem in this country is what? Is Thabo Mbeki. And then the country started being distracted and then not going to, it's what I'm saying. Hence I'm saying to you, and then when Zuma was elected, he was working for the people. He was for the people. You understand? And many millionaires started becoming millionaires when he was the president. But the country on its own, it failed on numerous, attempts on things like on land and mining and stuff. You understand? It's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's your opinion. At the end of the day,
Hence, I'm saying to you, it needs you to read the book. Hence, I'm telling you about it's unravel the veil. I'm touching things in the book. I'm touching things that white people orchestrated your life and my life until now.
Let's talk about prison.
Let's talk about prison. Let's leave my book alone.
Okay, before the prison, man, you mentioned on the last episode that you were hooked on drugs. Tell me, how did you get into drugs, and behavior yakho ya change kanjani in the
you know ama drugs challenge when I'm picture ama drugs ne ama drugs dala bewabizi tycoon scave. They were called a tycoon scave. Ama drugs bewabhema abantu abagangayo, abantu abaspinayo, only abantu abaspinayo. So and ama drugs literally, let me tell you something. Ama drugs were smoked only by people who would bapandi chose, baspina fucked up, baspina bapati bang. Those were the only people who have ama drugs. If we're not paying ama drugs, who would have pandi bo? So pay ama drugs on us. So what are you doing? Because people were needing a plug, abangena plug, to go and spin chose. And then abantu abebathengisa ama drugs ngitshela njengaseKaslambe bekupha jethu bekayi-1. Not everybody, not all Tom, Dick and Harry was selling drugs. Ikasnikas bekunobrawalo obhayisa drugs. eKaslambe kupha jethu. Ujethu bekangithekiseli intwana encane. Mina I started smoking drugs ngifika school bengimncane, but bengalithengisha i-drugs kujethu. Ujethu bekangithengiseli umuntu old less than 21 i-drugs. Ngishanga impama. For Texans obhema ama drugs bekaziwa ukuthi no lo muntu lo, you understand. So i-drugs was meant ukuthi libhenywe abantu ukuthi bayospina, bayohamba bayophanda ebalungwini, you understand. Hence it was called a tycoon scave. It was very, very expensive i-drugs, you understand. But then it changed eventually. The evolution of drugs changed when foreigners started coming in South Africa. You understand? When the foreigners started coming in South Africa, because drugs, remember, was only sold by white people. The Balbizi tycoon scave, and then we are asking Scarface mus. Begui smogolo sabelung. You understand? Begui smogolo sabelung, belepatwa belung. You understand? But when foreigners came into South Africa, because no challenge Hebrew mina amakrotman wamaithubi wahlala eHebrew. They were staying in Hebrew. So Hebrew was dominated by abotsotsi nabo igebengu zaseSoweto. So ama drugs, were bought akubelungu and then circulated kubantu abamnyama. And then the effect of ama drugs bewakudakwa, but bewangasi dangerous as like now, because it was pure drug. Cocaine, you can smoke it 20 years and it won't harm you.
Oh.
Yeah, it won't harm you. Because it's pure cocaine. That's the difference. It's pure cocaine. Ungal pema 20-30 years, it won't harm you. Because it's pure. So Amatrax it was pure drug. It was not a combination of Uguchi, so it was only 3 drugs that were Makdala. Only 3. Begune rock. Gune mendrax, you understand? Gune cocaine. They were only 3 drugs. Youngest, only 3. Gune rock, gune mendrax, gune cocaine. The cocaine, il tonswanga makala. Then the mendrax, bottle cop. I was smoking that one. The mendrax. Silpule bodlela, master to puli bodlela, silfage, liakta. Obvious. Litniga i-plug. I-mentrax. Balbiza bathini lentole i-mentrax ipilisi ikante nakanti. Uthola libhaliwe ikante nakanti. Uyanganda linestanga apha. Then bese kuba i-rock lilegcenywa kanje. I think ama-celebrities ala South Africa, most of them used to smoke i-rock. You understand? Any rock likenza ukuthi ube njani ungalali ebusuku ube hyper. So when these guys bafika bangaphandle, you understand, they saw the opportunity, then bathatha ama-drugs from white people, because ama-drugs were sold by white people. Bawathatha bona bayenza into yabo, and then they did it, and then akusase drugs. You cannot say ukuthi leyana drugs because it's a mix of bathi kunani nama-deep kunama-red taxi
There's a lot. Yeah, actually nje mixture yama-poison.
Yeah, it's a mixture of poison. But lele lakudala, it was not a mix of poison. It was drug, cocaine itself imixiwe yaqiniso. You understand? Or yayenzwa i-rock, or yayenzwa i-mandrax, or kwaba i-cocaine. So it was only three drugs. And in my Bama, you know, you can feel ukuthi you get hyper, as you are asking me ukuthi mangil Bama benginjani when I started smoking drugs. You feel hyper, you feel different. You feel ukuthi you can do anything.
You own the world.
Yeah, you feel ukuthi you can do anything. You understand? But lona lela drugs they didn't have an effect on your system ukuthi linga damage everything, because we smoked it but now we are still fine. You understand? And then some of them, I know people who ukuthi balpemile for 10 to 20 years because it was still a drug elukuthi cocaine. So lele lenzwa manje is no longer a drug. It's a killing thing. Ibulala abantu.
Okay, we let's talk about the you getting sentenced and the crime that you did.
Yeah.
Ukuze back sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start from there and your jail life.
Yeah, my prison life. You know, the crime I did, I went with my friends, Soweto. It was Winchester Hills. You know Winchester Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ebalungwini, and then we entered there. You understand? As I told Abilungu, we hold them up. You understand? As an arrest, and then after that, you know, alarm it triggered. And then Tina, we didn't know what the alarm has been triggered. Yeah, because obviously so Sangena, and then we took some stuff. Puma, we found out to Gutabilungu say Amapoisa, not Foot Amapoisa, the security of Winchester, like we have triggered say Sebakon, and then Tina Spuma Speta, Imoto Zabo, you understand? And then immediately must Puma, you know, the key to Masitisia Puma, now security, it's here. You understand? And then they started shooting at us, and then one of my friends was shot at Patwabalega, and then Minana Long Naye, sorry, Minana Long Naye, we got arrested. And then we stayed in prison for quite some time. We stayed for, I think, for nearly 4 years or 3 years or something months. And then after that, in 2006, we were sentenced to 21 years imprisonment.
Sure.
Menana, yeah.
It's because of that or
yeah, because, no. When it's because of that. Sentence because it's called a Schedule 6. So it's spam. Or pretty spam. You understand? It's something different. You understand? Yeah, so it's Schedule 6, and then so Gubeno Mteto, I think it was 1999. Gubeno Mteto Yoguchi. If when you pity spam and you are going to rob somebody, then that is the Schedule 6. The sentence should start at 15 years.
Sure.
And above. You understand? And then, you know, and then we were sentenced to 21 years in prison. I remember the first time when I was in prison, my took sentence for that sentence. I told myself, but I'm not going to make it.
Sure.
Yeah, not because ngila ejele ngithukile bengathukanga because ejele kumela ngithuke wathuka bazokuripa obvious. You understand? And then mina looking at my pedigree, I'm coming from a family who everybody has been into prison, and I know they've told me stories, and then now I know prison is like it's how yabo. So mangifika ngithi yo here I'm not going to make it fit.
The environment.
No. Iminyaka
was too much.
It's too much of it. 21 years imprisonment. So mama ngitshela about you needed to serve like 10 years or 11 years so that you can go out. And then sure, I remember with you. I will never stay here. 11 years each and every day, you know, I was very frustrated. Yeah, got depression in prison, you know, and in prison is a different ball game because a prison, you know, it depends ukuthi wena umuntu onjani and then ubukeka unjani. You understand? Because mabakubheka, you know, there are people ukuthi mabakubheka babona umfazi. Mabakubheka bathi yo lo mfethu ish uyibonile lento le. And then lento leyo mina to tell you the truth ne ayenzeki because mhlambe labantu bazenza nami it happened to me mase sengihleli isikhathi ukuthi mfethu uyibonile ntwana le ntwana eceda ukufika ukuthi
yebo
ukuthi yihle kanjani. Now I mean there is no woman fit and the man you are being saving udala uneska remember ngicale ngatrial you understand and manje kumele ngicale ngatrial 4 years you understand and now you have to serve 11 years or 10 years you understand so much you understand ukuthi say after 9 years now uyabona ukuthi hayi man entwana mara ngathi yinhle le
shit
you understand and then it's automatically it comes to you yangana uhleli nabo bro wakhe and then nishaya umthetho you understand anishaya umthetho aniyenzi next but manje nawe automatically it happens to you ukuthi son noma unekuzulale nayo but the cognizance of it ukuthi mfethu the cognizance of it ukuthi yazi actually ntwana uyibonile mfethu lantwana le lamfani fit le aliyana umfazi kaMapela yabo noma thina because siyazi ukuthi kunabantu who will do something about it because there are people who will do something about it. You understand? But Tina, we are just sharing the knowledge.
Yeah, because you're frustrated now and it's been 10 years not seeing a woman. It's crazy.
And it's crazy. And mawuthi uyabheka kunabanye abafana, mawuthi uyambheka iboni zakhe uyazibona ukuthi yo.
Mkhumbuzo noMatheng.
Shit. Ukuthi yo. Hey Anton uyibonile mfethu. And kunezinja phela ipejelo yazi kunezinja. Kunabo stage kunenye abathu stage yase cancer. Iphoza yama 26. Some danger ingulube yadala. Ayayaya neke baze baphophe neke baze babuye labafana. You understand? Kunezinja ukuthi vele zibhekile you understand? Siyazi amabhoze plus ukuthi abobani u stage no sport no stage no stage no sport yeah amo some danger ya bahlale bakhipha inombolo ukuhlala iphuma igazi la ejele la ijele kuhlala iphuma igazi luphumanga mawuthi ababheka bophuthinyala abayithuba secancer bamfishane ye yamacala wabangaka bayimoshe from ngaphandle la ijele bayamosha ba 26 you understand lo munye vele ijele la ama 26 nalo so siyazi ukuthi noma singakhuluma mina no bro wami lo ngikhulume nayo on that particular moment you understand but siyazi ukuthi kunabantu ukuthi they will do something ngalomfana but ijele mawuluku libelo uhlala more time when uhlala kulo it brainwash your mind because akunamfazi angithi la so njengoba kungenamfazi nawe angilentwana zinongena zisasezincane mawuthi uyabheka ina 21 uyabona ukuthi yo lo mfana lo muhle lo yangana yabo so yeah actually I didn't enjoy my journey in prison fit. I don't know, it's not a place ukuthi I can wish ukuthi umuntu omunye umuntu even my worst enemy I want to wish ukuthi abe lapho ngoba manje to be honest mfethu uvalelwe yabo uvalelwe and then mawuvalelwe the whole day uvalelwe ukhiyelwe mfethu we are here uphumi.
How did you meet your brother in prison though? Because you said at some point you shared the cell with him.
Yeah, suthi kwenzakaleni mina ngiboshwe ngoMay yena uboshwe ngo January. So mina when I landed in prison in Sun City mangifike eSun City bese bazi ukuthi mina vele ngiboshiwe because ngeke ngaboshwa ngaye police station mangifonele eJardini bangitshela mamtshela yena ukuthi uSiphamandla uSisan City oyeza usase eBosberg, you know, in a police station. Angithi when you arrested you go to the police station, then a police station will spend some time like ivikinyana, and then after investigation they will send you to a Sun City. So a Sun City ngihlangana naye kanjani mangifika mina when I landed at Sun City ngithola vele ukuthi yena ongilindile.
Sure.
Yeah, because you know kunalento abathi bracket akumelanga ngibhayiziseke, you understand? Because I mean iSun City and ungazithola so shayisane namabonda so ungasazi ukuthi kwenza. So when I landed ngingabathola bangimele and then they took me over yena nabangani bakhe abo choose bakhe bamacala my brother, you know, bangithatha ngakuhlala nabo, you understand? So mina I'm attending icala lami naba choose bami na is attending icala lakhe nabo choose bakhe. We are on trial. It's two, yeah, and then it's 2002, then 2003, 2004, they get sentenced. Bona, nabangani bakhe. You understand? Yeah, yena bamshaya 10 years. Labangani bakhe babashaya 18. You understand? And then mina
21.
2004, 2005 ngihlala, 2006 sentence banginike 21 mina nomngani wami. You understand? And then we stayed in prison. Yeah, for but what I want to say ukuthi of all the people ukuthi mina ngikhule nabo I grew up with mina ngoba we grew up doing crime and there was nothing else. Mina ngingabajela ngachance mina I'm going to prison. And then I told my cousin asejele naye because umntana kantu wami naye bekasejele.
Sure.
Arrested for something.
The whole family was there.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there.
Yabo. Ngamtshela ngathi lalela mfethu ngiyacela mfethu njengoba uda geleza. Let me tell you the story. It's so sad because ngamtshela ngathi kuye funda because masiphuma la ngapha. Yazi mina what thing I've realized in sejele ukuthi change is inevitable. Yeah, change in faith is about to happen. It's happening. It changes now. Young understand. So life is change. When you want to prosper in life, you have to change with time. Because if you can stack up with one thing, you are not going to prosper. Hence, when we are owning a business, you need to do what? You need to develop your business so that you can able to reach out the market. So in life is like that. When in order for you to make it in life, now you need to change with time. Because time changes and change is inevitable. You understand? Because when you look at gunama plasma manje, back then begunama plasma. Begunabo and then back begunama black and white. Yabo. So you needed to change with time. So I realized that, you know what, for me to make it in faith, I'm not going to be the same person. Even in prison, although you know, but as this thing I mean ngalalo nokulalo. Obviously bayacela ngithi bafuna ukututsa ukuthi njani. You understand? Obviously bafuna noma ngimovie but you know kunabantu ukuthi but they will try to
take iskobo.
Yeah, iskobo sakho nala elokushini kunabantu abajola neskobo. You understand? Abe neskobo sakho. So mawungalwi, you know, when I entered prison I knew ukuthi obviously kumele ngife. Uzomunye umuntu angangigibela angangilala. I have to die. You know, thina sikhule ukuthi a dead man tell no story. Mawufeel. Yeah, impilo yakho ibamba ngezandla mawufeel. So noma ungene ejele if when you don't want to be slapped, you understand. Kuyomele vele ufi. You understand. So obviously I did have some few fights. You understand ejele. But I won't say ukuthi because mina benginamandla back then fit. Benginkani. You understand? I was able to. I was able to withstand 5 people in this challenge. You understand? Yeah, I don't care. You understand? So, yeah, and then I told my friends and everybody, you know what? I'm going to start in prison. Yeah, oh, you fit. Asiyenzi lento le wenzani ngathi ebafethi mina ngogeleza ane ngisabhuna ucama ukuthi nina so masibuya ngaphandle so uyasasi ile sasikhathi lesa so buya sekuchangile ngaphandle And so we never face who sentence 30 years when you shall 15 years ejele uyobuzitshela ukuthi wena uyobuya
senjalo.
aneke mfethu, you understand. So I told many of them ukuthi mina mfethu I'm going to study and then ngakeleza, you know, actually ngakeleza. I got some I've got I can say I get 3 diplomas in prison.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got a diploma in paralegal, I've got a diploma in business management, I've got a diploma in human resource management. Yeah, bengifunda, and then I wrote 3 books in prison. You understand? I wrote 3 books in prison. Glare is one of them, Unravel the Veil. You understand? There is Unravel the Veil, there is Castra Nostra, there is Anecdote Canon. You understand? But I haven't, because I want Castra Nostra is about gangsters of Soweto. You understand? Because Soweto maskula bekuna machirani, kuna ninja, you understand? Kunabo amakabasa, ya kune kimeni. So Castra Nostra I haven't published it. Ngifuna ukuyenza series ibe ku television.
Because even as to get someone who can tell us about this group of gangster back in the days, man, it's very interesting. So we will know what was going on, because what you just shared right now is like back then the crime was a little bit decent, but it was still a crime because you were not like gonna go to your hood and steal, but you were gonna go to Sentin and steal for white people, and you call it repossessing. You know, even that is kind of interesting. And those old gangsters, they used to do that, and which is like, I understand what you don't mess for utakomunye, but you go to people that already have, and when you take, they can replace it at any time. Motata, if you're spending that, I could take 8 months to replace it. Because it's working hard and it's getting a lower income.
Yeah, uqinisile and utaki will do what you know uzokuloya. Uzokuloya page. Uzofanele into zakho mfethu. Umuthi mina ngokutshela, let me tell you mfethu, because you are joking. Umuthi wamanje nomuthi wakudala fana. Sina sazi izinja bezingadubuleki.
You lie.
I'm telling you. Yeah, kunabantu ukuthi bewazi ukuthi ngeke uzomdubula. You will never shot him. Fethu wonke utsothi bekane sikhwama sakhe asiphathayo osibonayo ukuthi makungabe udubulekile lo muntu omdubulile mhlamba uhamba inyanga strong. Yanda umuntu wakudala awafani nama thina fethu amaphoyisa bebafuna umuntu manje bathi umuntu ungene la ejardini la angenile la ejardini angena amaphoyisa amfune angitsheli ngokuthi endlini enkulu emkhukhwini omncane single sharp yamona umkhukhu omncane angena amaphoyisa simbonile umuntu ungenile la angena amaphoyisa amfuna ngamtholi bathi lo muntu ake khona ngiqinisile ungenela ukuthiwa emfethu lo muntu simbonile ungene khona lapho funa lo muntu lapho bathi asimtholi bhekani simbheka ngekho maqeda ukuhamba amaphoyisa after 30 minutes aphume khona kula mkhukhu. It's when so abotothi bakudala, you know, they angazi umuthi wamanje, I mean le nyanga zisasebenza.
So landa kokoko sikhotheni no.
No. Hayi akusena muthi. Week. Mina ngikutshela ngomunye ubaba, you know, I'm so sorry wasemfulo. Igebengu iningi mazingatshela ngalo baba loyana. Yeah. Bekakhambisa nabo tikoloshi lo yababa. Yeah, uhambe no tikoloshi. Manje ushaya icrime yanitshela ukuthi bafana nginika abafana abancane. Ihambani nalabo bafana. Ngicela ukuthi maniqeda ningathathi labantu laba uye kini kubo endlini ngoba kungafa abantwana abancane. So mawuqeda nje. Yanga nje mawuqeda and ubaba khona umboni. Hlala emfulo lo baba. Leko uzumbona akekho maziyo ngamehlo. Sonke masikhuluma naye simbona sikhuluma naye usekhetheni isini ngalo.
Ngikhuluma nesipho.
Sonke siyamazi igama lakhe, sonke uyasazi. Zonke igebengu zasezowethu uzokutshela uyazazi zonke. And zonke izihamba yena. You understand?
So manje uzosucceed amayigayela botikolo social account.
Mfethu obvious uhamba nabo tikolo uhamba nabafana abancane mso. Omona ama-boys. Noma ubuya, mawubuya awubuyi awubuyeli ukuthi uyendlini. Hayi, ubuyela kuyo umnika into zakhe. Uthi mfethu nazi ikhwama zakho baba. Umnika isincane sakhe, ubuhlukane naye, athathe into zakhe. You understand?
So mfana i-life yakho uma uphuma e-prison the day usuzothola ukuthi sewuzophuma e-prison, what was going through your mind? I just want to know what was going through your mind and i-life ibe njani usuphumile e-prison.
You know, mina, as I'm telling you ukuthi ngeke ngazijela ukuthi, you know what, let me alter my life. You understand? Let me just alter it completely together. Ngingasabi lo umuntu lo yanabe ngihuye, yabo. Even the name sebebengibiza ngayo, should I must stick to my original name, Nebo Spamandla, and then let me focus on rebuilding my life. Yeah, and try to rebuild the family, my family. You understand? Because mina mangibuye ebujele baba mbesekashonile. You understand? And then mbesekashonile, you know, and then my brother, the firstborn, because I told you, beseka because of the bullet. You understand? So when I come to prison, I said, you know what, let me go and look for a job. You understand? And then I told him savings. I was lucky enough. And I told him savings. Yeah, I didn't tell you. When I found a supply chain management, but they didn't give me a certificate, a diploma. I had supply chain management. So one of the programs in South Africa, the institute that we were educated from went to bankrupt. Magmele certificate, but la banse ba bankrupt. Nege basa sneaky certificate the supply chain, and then they have to give education, basic education, higher education, imali ukuthi bona bas sneaky certificate. So it was something, but then mina ngithema ngifuna umsebenzi, I applied for a supply chain. This guy took me over. Wathi ngimawuna mfethu, let us work. Sasebenza. Ngingasebenza with that guy for particular, I think for 5 years. Yeah, and then after like a year after ngphumile, you know, but when mangiphuma I open a organization, a Masakane Community Drug and Crime Awareness Campaign. I opened an organization. That's the one I was busy with because I realized, which, you know, these kids needed to be taught. Then we open it, you know, I open it myself, but because when you open an organization, it may be 7. Yeah, well, so I had the board of directors with me, and then abantu baba no more, because you know when there's money starting to come in, you know, and then when you are a chairperson, and then the best friend of mine, okuguthi mina ngumngani wami, you know, sabotaged athi mina ngidlimali, telling other board members and stuff, and then I quit, ngayekela ngayofuna umsebenzi, and I was lucky enough to get employed. Ngasebenza motor accident group investments. You know, it's a as a supply chain manager. So I was a supply chain manager. No, anytime when I want to go back to that work, I'm trust me with his whole life, you know, because La Payana, I used to buy stuff for the company. It's a very huge company. So I've got my accounts with company for the supply chain department with me. So I'm buying everything for the company. So meaning to say everything that is being bought in the company, I'm the one who was buying it. And then I was the first person who would spend a year or 2 years in that post, because everybody who was there was stealing money, was stealing things. So I stood until I think 5 years. You understand? Because I started working there 2016 until 2021. I understand. Because the guy trusted me so much, because I realized, you know what, I must fulfill my life and writing. I'm an author. I want to do series, man. I want to do series. So in the yet I have a talent, you know, which is writing. So rather as a human being, because when you work, you can work 20 years. A shop right, and I said, you know what? Rather than ngcono ngiyekele and then pursue my career ekukuthi I love it.
I-criminal record ayizange kubayizise mawuphuma and stuff.
Obviously,
stigma.
there's a criminal. You don't have to put it in your mind, Faith. A life must be optimistic. There is something. Let me tell you something that I've realized in prison when I was in prison. There is nobody who is immune to opportunities in this world. There is nobody. You can come from a disadvantaged family, but there is nobody who is immune to opportunities of wealth in this world. It's just how it gets you, your mentality on that particular time. So wealth, I've studied something called Buddhism, the philosophy of life. Buddhism is a philosophy of life. It's a philosophy of life. So in life, there is this thing, everybody will get an opportunity to be a millionaire. But it comes, my figure opportunity is in which state of mind. It won't come as a millions, but it will come as an opportunity. You understand? So when it comes to you, is which state of mind? You understand? Some blew it, some many people got opportunities. Even my brother, Long Kulmanang, he once had Imali an opportunity to get 1.3 million and stuff.
He blew it.
Why? Because he's an old chair, obviously. You understand? You understand? So umuntu nomuntu ukuthi uphila ubuyaphila lami. So mina should when I go out from prison I knew ukuthi I will get an opportunity. You understand? My brother lo let me tell you my cousin brother. Uthi makase Babaton no bekase not Babaton ePitori konje balibiza le lajele. No lo central. Leli ngali Mamelodi balithinde la jene. Yini isho man fuck man nakulejele ngilokhohle. You understand? Ngiyamtshela lapha ngithi kune KUNENE kunaleli linye lengala.
Imodabi.
Imodabi ngale.
Yini?
Imodabi ngale. Imodabi ngale ezweni Kingsway ngale. So I'm telling him ngizolikhombola. I'm telling you ukuthi funda yabo. So uJohn when I'm working for uJohn ngila ngaphandle uJohn uthi kimi mfethu awunawo abantu abasilema unyala abayi3 abayi4 abafana nawe who are eager to work like you and who are smart intelligent and stuff. You understand? Ngino mina bakhona yabo ngithatha ama cousin manje amanye ayi2 ngwafaka emsebenzini ngithatha namanye amawuthi wami bengisebenza nawo ku organization yami ngwafaka eSpanini utho uyezwa and I told him ejele ukuthi he must go to study. Uthi ke mfethu sofaka abanye abantu emsebenzini mina ngifaki kanti wayengivalela ngaphandle. Ngithi no mfethu I told you ukuthi change is inevitable. Change out time ungena isikolo. You understand? Because we are not going to do crime. And uthe mosifika la ngapha. Phela semosifika la ngapha lithi samangalo ukuthi awu Soweto sekuso. Yabo akuna nomuntu owayo lesibhabu. Everybody hospital
namadabutho.
Baphizi ngaphandle. Abantu bazenzela into zabo. And nami ngiyafita. And I'm telling you bro, nami ngiyafita. And in every out yokuthi benginayo, every crime yokuthi is already it doesn't fit. Bapanulekile. Who are trying abafuna ukubuyela icriming, they're being killed, they're being shotted. Ngilokhu siyancaba ubani bani umabhokodo ufile ezolo siyakhona ubani bani ufile kuphi siyakhona ubani bani umlamdlela ufile kuphi siyaphuma bhokodo kuphi. You understand? We hear people ukuthi bayafa because they are trying to go back to crime and it's no longer like that. And then thina aboma laptop ukuthi sifunde ejele we are fitting in nalabantu labo siziphethela ama laptop siyapressa senzani uthi ufuna umsebenzi ngithi no what zone let us go to John ngoba ubona ngathi mina ngivalela ngaphandle siyafika kumlungu uthi mfethu mina ama posting now right now abantu abakhona ukushaya icomputer you understand abane matric so that we can able to ukuthi sikufake ungene eSpanish
then uyafuna
then uzochobela he doesn't even know ukuthi ikesa yini or
shubi
monitoring
ngithiwa ku desktop ungena ngaphansi kwe desk So we just talk.
Uyayibona right ngithi uyabona ukuthi ngakutshela na bro I'm back then ukuthi mfethu njengoba sentensiwe la ngcono uye esikolweni so that you can able to change life yakho because change is inevitable neke uhlale umuntu oyi1 waya you need to your life must progress to the better impilo yakho must progress to the better.
So Zvala, what do you think about the justice system in South Africa?
The justice system in South Africa is for the weak abangenamali. You understand? It's not 100%. You know, for me, justice as a system, it's not 100%. Functional. Even now, it's worse because amaphoyisa manje awafana kudala. Awakudala bo uthi mawufike police station uthi ubani ungishayile bathi simlanda manje. Abamanje umuntu mawuthi umshayile bathi ukwenzeni wena wenzeni niyenzeni kanje uyazana you understand so isystem yamanje justice let me tell you a story so that you can able to hear what I'm talking about. Soweto it was rife with crime and then after 1994 there was an enforcement from above Uguchi, you know what, we have to deal with all the crimes that are here, you understand, in Soweto. So what happened, abantu bebanokuboshwela unlawful arrest. Babosho abantu, you understand? Amaphoyisa wa then bewasebenza. But ithema sesecala kukhula down. Mina I can say to you ukuthi mina I'm the last crop yama criminals, hardcore criminals of Soweto. I'm the last crop. After mina akuzange kube khona abanye abotsotsi abengathi baba serious. You understand? So labo phoyisa abasebenza manje right now when I look at ngiyana se central nakuphi they are very lenient. They are very lenient in fact. People will get shot, umuntu bafike, they will relax abasebenzi. They are not effective as much as abophoyisa back then. Because back then abophoyisa I think butubulana nabo. Buzitshela nje ukuthi neke uzoboshwa udubulane nabo phoyisa. But abamanje they are more relaxed and banemoto I don't know in fact. For me isystem yase South Africa, justice system yase South Africa when it comes to policing, not judicially. When it comes to police, not judicially. Policing is weak.
Yeah.
Judicially, you can more the case corrupt. You understand? For also me, each system as a South Africa.
Are you going to vote?
Hey, that's the big one. In fact, voting.
Yeah.
For me, in fact, to be honest, I'm not going to vote.
Reason?
A reason why I'm not going to vote. Important lento ne. Uzovotela bani? Masingathi siyavota.
Could ANC, could EFF, could MK.
You know why ngivotela EFF? Mina ngukutshele one of the reasons. There are only two reasons mina ngivotela EFF now. And those are the big reasons for me. EFF doesn't push education. I've never heard him talking about education. And in EFF doesn't push drugs. Our people are getting killed by drugs, but they have never said there is war on drugs. I've never even heard Umalema ati there is war on drugs, who are fighting drugs, like Nama drugs corner, we are going there. But they can go anywhere. EFF. If EFF has got a leverage to go anywhere and do anything, but they have never said there is war on drugs. Why? And then drugs are killing many people. Drugs are killing our kids. You know, 80% of kids. Mina ngithukile thina ama drugs bawabhema abantu abaphatha ibhamu. You understand? Manje 80% umuntu uyihlele lokishini uyibhemela ama drugs. Umuntu ungayenzi nithi ongasebenzi, ongayenzi ni obvious uzotshontsha next door muslo umuntu. You understand? So 80% of youth like Soweto, mina mangihleli ngibheka, they're smoking drugs. But I've never heard EFF saying we are going to war on drugs. And I've never heard EFF emphasizing on education. You understand? What they are focused on, they are focused on ukuvulena amaborder. You cannot fix indlu yangaphandle ungakafix kini. Angithi kumele uqale ufixe kini. You must fix indlu yakini iqala. Ken wena uyolungisa imakhelwane utshela umakhelwane ukuthi hey wena yenzani 1 2 3 and 4 and 5 kodwa kini kuyaphetha impompi iyavuza lapha yana izinki yakini ayisebenzi. Can you do that? But charity pickets at home. Why don't he fix it? I mean, look at the trucks in fact. Look at the people, the number of the kids who are smoking up in your open fields. You go outside, land, you know, I think yabona nina njengoba ni yuto amacheri mangathi ngiyabuza anifunayo they are too much because EHN smoking trucks. Yeah, why EFF doesn't fight trucks? That's number one reason I won't vote for ANC because I've never heard them talking about drugs and education. Because for me, education, let me tell you something, the systemical education that they are using here in South Africa, in fact, you eat on past land. That's the first thing ngisathukile mina abantwana ngimangela abantwana kusakhulwa ngenyoni ukuthi label the bed. You can label a bed right now. In fact, I mean, we are one of good something the apartheid. Low cost. So yeah, understand the good.
A fish. There's a fish tank. There's a head. There's a trunk. There's a tail.
So that's unzovotela ba. ANC mfethu. But it's immense. It's very much immense on corruption. It's very, very much immense on corruption. There is nobody. I don't think ukuthi khona umuntu ongathi yazi mina I'm changing it. Angibona ngambona ongathi mina you know nonke ni corrupt. This is the new ANC. So ETA yamabhuno obviously they want to of their own. So ubani umuntu Action SA ubani which guy is that? Umashaba. Mina I will never vote for a defector. A defector, I will know. I don't know whether you know.
Zuma MK.
Yeah, a defector, I will never do that. You understand?
Baba Zuma MK.
Now, Zuma has felt uzwile lobumnandi lobuyana bokudla imali. You understand? Manje uyabona ukuthi esani labantu sebangikhiphe efutheni. Ngcono ngibuyele ngale style, yabo? But to be quite honest, is not. We need a patriotic, you know. Let me tell you something which is very, very. Let me tell you something which is very important. We need somebody. I want for our country to be smart and to progress. Not only our country, in Africa as a whole, we need a patriotic people. Yazo umuntu patriotic umuntu njani program. Or this is a country. If I fucked up in Zotlalapi. If I fuck up this country, if I fuck up this country in Zotlalapi, where are my kids going to stay? You understand? Because Mongapega Europe as a whole, Yonke Europe, those guys you cannot go and come and bribe them because they are patriotic. Moya my lung is Kaslab. You understand? So these guys they are not patriotic and Angambono muto patriotic in such a way you could miss a country to ibe good. So I'm not going to vote for anybody.
Thank you so much, man. Your book is available, still available?
Yeah, still available. Yeah, my book is still available. Unravel the Veil, you know. It's about a young man who found himself in peril predicament because of his prestige and pedigree. While on the goose chain being persecuted by government secret assassin, he unravels that his father was not only a top-notch secret assassin of the apartheid, but his grandfather was on the wrong side of the law. And now that the hunter, you know, now that the apartheid is gone, you know, the hunter becomes the hunted. Now he's being hunted by those he have killed. You understand? So that's the synopsis of the book. I would really love and appreciate the good people. They can holler at me and buy the book. My number is 082 0542 176.
Okay, please get the book, man.
Yeah,
you have enough copies.
Yeah, I've got enough copies.
Yeah, so if someone is in Eastern Cape or what, you can courier.
Yeah, I can courier the book. It's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
So, but if you courier, you pay like you add that amount.
Yeah. We add that amount and we courier it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so everywhere, if you want the book, you can get it.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, it's
support,
fully. Yeah, it's fully. So it's 100% owned by me. Nobody has got the.
You're supporting the black man.
Yeah, we're supporting the black because I didn't want the book to be. Okay. I didn't want the book to to be published by what Monopoly, because they are taking 65% of of the royalties of the book, and then the book is not going to be owned by me. It's going to be owned by the publishers. They're only going to give me royalties of 35% of the royalties of the book. So I'm going only quoting royalties. Hence, I didn't want the publishers to publish my book. You understand?
Smart.
Even if it can go to a series, I know even subsequently, if it can turn into a series, I know it's mine. But if it was published by publishers, they were the ones who are going to have the right to do it in a series. I don't know whether you can.
But do it this time.
Yeah, that is it, my buddy.
No, man. Thank you so much for coming to the
podcast.
To the podcast on this episode, part 2. Yeah, it's hard to get someone in the part 2, man. People are busy.
Yeah,
I'm busy. You ended up having part 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to everyone for support as usual. On camera, got my man James as well as Gundam Sky. So yeah. This is Daily Hustle. If you're new to the channel, man, we appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Press the notification bell, subscribe, share, tell your family that Chris is doing the best show. You tell your mom, you tell your dad, you tell your kids, say, hey, Chris is doing the best show, go and subscribe. And then we now see you at work. Yeah, very soon. This is the best show. It makes another show look so stupid and whack. Shit.